And down here at the bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss player from Team Liquid, down 0-1 in this best of 5. It is HerO. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, representative from the team Zenex, and their champion and the lone Zerg player in this tournament, it is Life.
Yeah, so Life going for that hatch first last game too. A little bit of a risky move, but ended up working out here. HerO not taking advantage of that, which, you know, it's fine. You don't absolutely need to. Obviously, if you do cannon rush their natural, you have resources that you have to dedicate then to that. So,
yes,
you know, it may not be worth it. Looks like we might have Nexus first here from HerO again.
Certainly find out. It is a 2-player map, so you know right where your opponent is at. Don't have to do a ton of advanced scouting. So HerO will know very quickly if he wants to go for the Forge and the Nexus first, depending on what Life is doing.
Let's see. HerO doing some scouting with that probe. Wants to find where his opponent is, but that's silly because it's only a 2-player map. He knows exactly where his opponent is already.
That's fine. Sorry, I kind of abruptly cut off there. I almost died, it felt like. So, solid. It's sad to hear. I was actually just indigestion and way too much water consumption today. All at once.
Well, fun.
Yay.
Right.
Okay, well, he's already on 14 probes. Going to build up to 15 here in a second. So, would be decision time very quickly for that Nexus or Forge. And it looks like Zenex Life is going to hatch first once again, not putting down that pool.
Crazy. Wow. This is actually really surprising to me because, you know, in the past, like maybe about a year ago or so, we did see Zergs hatching first fairly consistently against Protoss. But then Protoss started cannon rushing them every time they did it. You know, or cutting off their main base from their natural with pylons and then cannon rushing again. So I'm surprised to see Zenex Life trying this here. We don't see a lot of Zergs doing this. And I don't know, it's one of those things that are kind of a little bit, it goes in cycles in StarCraft 2. You know, you see something be risky for a while, so people stop doing it, so players stop reacting to it when it happens. So Zenex Life may have found something he can kind of get away with for a while in CVP.
Looks like it. So maybe it'd be a case of knowing his opponent as well. So if HerO's, you know, tends to go for that later Forge. I mean, you see some players that go for the later Forge on like 15 or 16, you know, so they can get out those extra chrono-boosted probes right away, increase their economy, shorten the time it takes to get to the Nexus. And then some players will put it up a lot earlier because they want to aggressively cannon rush. A player like IGNProLeague comes to mind, you know.
Oh, yeah?
A guy who actually, and I'm not like calling him out or saying he's bad for that, but that's a very quick third base for
awesome.
Zenex Life. But no, IGNProLeague actually very effectively uses cannons to deny bases, so wants to make sure he has that option available.
You calling IGNProLeague a cannon rusher?
No,
is that what you're doing?
Saying he uses cannons, and it's actually something that I like doing.
Are you calling yourself a cannon rusher?
Yes.
It's okay.
It's a really effective way to deny third bases, man.
I happen to be on a team with the best cannon rusher in StarCraft 2.
I was wondering how far you were going to go with that.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Man, WBC.
So I have nothing against that. That's perfectly fine.
Yes, that's it's okay by me. You're okay with that morally, so sounds like that's a big moral issue to you.
He doesn't cannon rush every game again, too.
No.
He doesn't do that.
Just does it a lot.
He's a good player. Well, he's the best in the business. Why shouldn't he do it?
Yes. Does he? Oh, no, he doesn't get the wall down, but the Zealot does pop out. One probe is going to fall. The Zerglings have already taken a little bit of damage. He's going to have to plug that gap once again, which he does. Has not put down a cannon quite yet.
This is good. Zenex Life can be very irritating with this. He sees the 2 gases as well.
Yeah.
And he can keep those Zerglings alive for quite a while in his opponent's base. Oh, I like it. Picking off another probe here and there. It's exactly what you need to do.
Control is very good right now.
And he's like, you canceled your cannon. Haha. I can just do whatever I want now.
LOL.
All right, there's another cannon started by Liquid HerO, but Zenex Life, you know, he's really doing a lot of things to frustrate his opponent. He can just run right back in the main now if he wants to. Oh, he gets another one.
So good.
3 probes already. He's down to just 1 Zergling, so his probe killing days are over.
That's
and that Stalker definitely makes that sure too. But 3 probes killed, a good scout of the opponent's space. I mean, what more could you really ask for 4 Zerglings?
I don't know. We'll see those. This probe is already forward to put down a pylon. He's going to want to... Oh, we actually have a Stargate coming up as well.
Okay.
He really wants to deny this third base again. We'll see if this ends up being something of the Stargate +1 variety in a bit.
I feel like he's just going to stick on Stargate with this one, honestly, because he knows his opponent doesn't have a lot of gas. He can't make a lot of queens. If he goes just Stargate play, he could do okay with that.
Oh, and
not even enough to do anything about that pylon right now either.
28 now, 32 lings about to pop out for Zenek's life. So he not just he's really going to sacrifice quite a bit of economy to make sure that he cleans this up, and actually may come back to bite him a little bit because HerO is not really pressing 100% with this gateway attack. He's actually sitting back at home and making sure he gets up that Stargate.
Yeah, it may have been a little bit of an overreaction, but it does certainly keep him safe.
Yeah.
Takes care of that pylon really quickly, and he still does have 39 drones out right now. So
yeah,
with 3 bases and 3 queens at each, you know, a queen at each base, he's got enough larvae coming out that it should slow him down too much. And he is the type of player too that just likes to have a big group of Zerglings out in the early game, and yeah, I like that. I like that style of playing Zerg.
Now, HerO is on his stream at the very least. The games I've been watching recently, been doing this very cool. He ends up going Stargate and 4 gates, yes. I mean, we've all seen something like that before, but then he really commits to Stargate play afterwards. It makes it an integral part of his unit composition moving forward, adds in warp prisms afterwards. It's a very fun brand of PvZ to watch that really stretches an opponent's multitasking. We'll see if that's the direction he wants to go down now.
Yep. Did start that +1 a little bit later here, just so you could get that Void Ray out that much quicker.
Yeah.
1-1 on the way for Zenek's life, so looks like we're going to see a rather Ling-heavy style out of him, which is, I think, perfectly fine if your opponent's going Stargate. They're going to have less gateway units. You can kind of surround and do more damage with it that way, and you can also make sure they don't get any sort of fast third.
I mean, yes, of course, the Zergling cannot hit a Void Ray, but it takes so freaking long for Void Rays to kill mass ground units like that. Exceptionally difficult. So let's see here. We do have 1 Spore Crawler coming up, and I guess that's inside of the main. It is. No. Totally a liar. Let's see where it's at, actually. Not sure. Okay, there it is, in front of the 3rd.
Yep. Just wants to keep that 3rd safe. I think he thinks he's got enough queens at the other expansions. And there is an infestation pit on the way as well here, so... Oh, run, Overseer, you can't get away. No, there's an infestation pit on the way for life, so it is going to be Roach and Fester. With those nice upgrades here, too.
Draws the attention away from Zenek's life a little bit. Kills a couple of drones as well. Looks like he's going to get himself an Overlord kill. In addition, if he decides to commit to that, and already being hit by the Queen, though, the Zergling's not going to be able to make their way in. Nice job. Does kill that Overlord.
Yep. He's got enough sentries there. Oh, and a Hydra Den on the way, too, for life. That's a lot of stuff at once. I wonder what he's actually going to do, because he's getting a Roach speed upgrade, +1 melee weapons, +1 carapace, infestors, and a Hydralisk Den.
Yes.
So that's a lot of stuff at once. The next life, oh, is he going to get us around to kill some sentries? Looks like he might.
HerO's going to need some good force field control here, and he actually has enough +1. No, those aren't even +1. That was just sheer damage output from the Zealots by themselves. He's able to drive away those Lings.
Well, he wanted to just get in there and try to kill a sentry or 2, but the force fields were too good.
Yeah.
Had to move away. And, wow, Hydra, Hydra Infester coming out right now for life, largely.
Yeah.
Interesting that he would continue to go for those melee upgrades. Probably going to add on some more Zerglings to it that. Although, you know, he has Roach speed going. It's a very kind of maybe a little bit confused looking composition right now for Zenek's life. But, you know, he should be okay, I guess.
A lot of a tech to invest in all at once. And Changeling drops down. He's like, hey guys, no, it's cool. And let's see here. How many gates is HerO working off? It looks like 6, because there's 1 up at the front. So 6 gate Robo with Robo Bay and Stargate for now. But like I said, you know, he was continuing with his air production, even though he's switching over to Colossi as well. So he does have, well, he put out 1 Phoenix for now. Well, we may see some more in a bit. And yes, Spire just started there for Zenek's life.
Yep, so now he's got every single one of the Tier 2 unit tech buildings here. Nidus Swarm doesn't count, of course. You don't get any new units because of it.
Right.
So he's going to be able to make pretty much anything he wants. And, you know, with 3 bases going, I actually think this is okay. He knows he's got a little bit of time. Oh, and he's pressuring that 3rd with Hydras, too.
Yes, he is. This
Very
is
nice.
Awfully difficult for HerO here. He's got to back up. And wow, losing so many of those Zealots. Now we have a Colossus, though. Is that going to be enough to start turning things around? Oh, yeah. This Nexus hasn't taken all that much damage yet. The Immortal's starting to pick away the Roaches as well. So it's relatively fragile units that are left over. The Colossus really hasn't taken that much damage, racking up the kills with those +1 attacks as well.
And he's still managing to zone out here a little bit. Oh, does he get the Void Ray? He does get it. More Roaches coming behind here, but I feel like Zenek's life is actually pushing this a little bit too far. HerO should be able to hold here, and then Next Life is going to be really down on units.
It looked like HerO was just standing in there and engaging, not moving his units a lot, but it was actually a case of where he was target firing the exact right units he needed over and over again. So he wasn't positioning his units all that much except for the Colossus. That Immortal was prioritizing roaches that entire time, despite the fact that some of the Hydralisks were closer. Very nice touch.
Yep, he's got to pull back. Roaches are forcing it back just a little bit here.
Yeah.
There are 5 Corruptors on the way as well, so Life not out of it quite yet, but this makes me really nervous just how far up he's pushing here.
Yeah, it is, especially now as both those Colossi are going to town on the roaches.
Man.
And 14 kills for one of those Colossi, 1 on the other one, and this Voider actually trapping some reinforcements already with 9 kills.
Yep, that Overlord a little bit misrallied there, so he can remake that too, but he should have enough Corruptors coming out now to handle the Colossi.
Yes.
But a lot of those roaches have taken some decent damage. Burrow would be so helpful here right now to help him regen some of that health on that army, because yeah, look at that. A lot of those roaches are like 1 Colossus hit away from death.
It's all Roach Corruptor now for him as well. Yep. Finally, a Twilight Council on the way. Do we have +1 weapons or armor finished? Yes, we did. So it's going to be all +2 attacks from here on out. Next Life, though, he's got so many units. Just the sheer quantity of roaches he's pushing with. We'll see if HerO can once again make a big stand at the 3rd.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got an okay chance. Those roaches don't have any sort of upgrades or anything like that going for the quite yet other than Carapace.
Yeah.
Nice force fields here, splitting up some of those units.
We'll see.
Going to be enough Corruptors.
Oh, Corruptors are coming from around the side. 2 of the Colossi have fallen. The last one going to go down here in a second, but there's not much of a ground army left over for Next Life, and the Stalkers from HerO are plenty enough to keep the roaches at bay.
Yeah, so now as Next Life, what does he make here? You know, I mean, the Colossi are dead.
Yeah.
He can just make a lot of roaches and things. He keeps getting melee upgrades, even though Zerglings aren't going to be terribly helpful if his opponent stays on Colossi. So, interesting choice to kind of keep going for that. This is for the eventual switch to Broodlords, I'm sure, but it's not really helping him right now. So I feel like it leaves him a little bit vulnerable here. He's got the Hive coming, but it's a little bit risky. I mean, HerO, he's got a really good defensive position right now.
So this is a kind of a tenuous part of the game. You wait that extra 100 seconds and put up the Broodlords and then decide to allocate the supply you already have for the eventual switch, because you've got a lot of dead weight in the Corruptors right now that aren't going to take out anything on the ground. I mean, Corruption is going to help a little bit, but still. So it's like, oh, what do you do now? Do you put out a lot of units? And we'll find out, as it looks like he wants to continue pressuring, and he's going to make his way up into the natural here in a second. There's already an Immortal sitting there waiting with the 3 cannons, though. Not a great spot for Life to move in.
Yep. Life will have to wait now.
As it often does.
That's right. Life has to take a break. War Prism on the way for HerO, so you can start doing a little bit of harassing with that. He's also getting +2 ground weapons. And there's the Adrenal Glands upgrade too, so yeah, Life really wants to make this a Zergling-heavy army here. But, you know, how well is that going to work out? There are no more Colossus on the way, so that does help, but yeah, he's going to need a lot more Zerglings before they can take on something like that, you know?
Right. Well, let's see here, though. Is Next Life going to continue pushing in a second? But HerO already has a pretty staggering force.
Nice
fungal growth catches almost all the sentries. That was a nice fungal growth on his part. But the Infestors, even though they do lock down 1 more chain fungal, aren't enough to kill the rest of the sentries. So the sentries haven't utilized this entire engagement. Nonetheless, the Mortal's starting to get quite a few kills as well.
Oh,
trapping
nice.
those Zerglings in and doesn't take any more damage. Supply is equalized.
Life moved out at just the right second there. He almost was on the verge of losing all those roaches.
Oh, yeah.
That was a close one here. As it is, Liquid HerO is caught up more or less in supply here.
Yeah, he has +3 attacks coming up as well, prioritizing those upgrades above anything else. That Greater Spire just about finished up, and he can turn those 8 Corruptors into Broodlords right away.
And looks like Life trying to get in position to kill that forward pylon here. Oh, he gets it just in time. That was huge. That was really big that he was able to stop those from coming in, but as it is, it looks like he's still going to lose this space anyway. HerO's army is starting to look pretty deadly here for Life in this game.
All right, well, 8 Broodlords are on the way now with an additional 5 Corruptors, so we'll see if that's enough to turn the tide for the Next Life. Even losing those eggs as well.
Not the eggs.
Oh, God,
oh, no, they're part of a delicious breakfast.
Oh, we need to see something here, though, as the units are streaming in from the back, but the Broodlords have not been caught up in the engagement quite yet. Blink is finished as well for HerO, so HerO is able to deal with most of the ground forces before the Broodlords ever get there.
Yep, and here comes some Lings as well to try and chase things away.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to catch some of the sentries. That is actually one of the best things he could hope for. Oh, he's actually letting the sentries go. I would just kill off those first, man. I mean, those are going to be a problem later on, but they're dead. They're dead anyway.
There they go. Now finally going down. 134 supply to 173. Checking around to see if that War Prism has made it anywhere. The big thing, though, that HerO has going for him is he's on 3 base versus a 3 base Zerg, and actually trying to put up a 4th as well. Finally has some Templar finish, so he'll be able to use those for Archons, maybe even Storm in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. This is kind of the deciding moment of the game here. If this Broodlord push doesn't work out, HerO should be able to take it. Oh, the blink in right before the ground needs to get there. 2 Broodlords dying immediately.
4,
3,
5, 6.
Man.
Wow, 6 of the Broodlords died of the original 8 that were constructed right away. The Corruptors are falling pretty quickly as well. So the vast majority of the meat of the army for Zenek's life did fall. He may still be able to kill the Nexus, but he lost a lot of very expensive Broodlords to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like Colossi on the way again here for Liquid HerO too, and that's going to be quite good against the Zerglings, of course, of Zenek's life. It's a little bit risky since he does know that there's going to be, a decent amount of Corruptors being produced, but, overall, even after losing that 4th, I still feel like HerO's in an okay spot in this game.
I mean, taking a look at Zenek's life, not doing any mining there. Pretty low mining over at the natural as well. The 3rd has been utilized for quite a long period of time, so it has significantly less resources than HerO's own 3rd.
Yeah, to a certain extent, HerO just kind of needs to survive for the next couple minutes. After that 3rd base is mined out for Zenek's life, he's not going to have a whole lot left over after that. So HerO's kind of playing the defensive waiting game at this point.
He's got a couple of Colossi being added in as well to help with the Broodlings while the Stalkers pick off the Broodlords on top. And let's see, any other action going on? Oh, wow, Broodlords deciding to siege up these gateways off the left-hand side. This Colossus is going to need to sit back and start delaying those as long as possible. Oh, watch out! Ooh. Damage taken there.
Uh-oh, yeah, the blink up, though. Takes down one of the Broodlords pretty quickly, and he's able to run away. That Templar's like, hey guys, let's go!
Couldn't even Storm. Sad.
Does he even have Storm? Did
no.
he have Storm? Okay.
That's what I'm sorry, I phrased that poorly. I said he didn't have the ability to Storm, yes.
Didn't know if I missed any research or something like that. 200 right now for Zenek's life.
Yeah.
And if he's going to move in, this is going to be the time to do it. HerO's units are a little bit out of position here.
Oh, once again, HerO actually warping at a few Zealots on the left-hand side. Picks off yet another base, so no 4th base for Zenek's life at all.
You notice that HerO also has, I believe those are pylons at the right and left side of the map at the other bases too.
Yes.
Yep, and here we go, Zenek's life. Oh, he's going for it. It's do or die time.
There's only one more Broodlord left, though. HerO was able to blink up and pick off 2 more of those. The Archons taking some damage up the front and dealing with the Roaches very effectively. And HerO, he just keeps pushing through, and he is going to destroy this army. Life, his reinforcement opportunities are so low. He GG's.